You can call it Stockholm syndrome. You can call it all of these different things undiagnosed from afar because you're feeling some sort of way. But it doesn't take away from the fact that the individual lied. She was safe as soon as she called the police. She's not turning the guilty party over and saying, look what this monster did to my beautiful children. She's pushing a false narrative to avoid any accountability, to protect her own self from punishment. She doesn't want to be put away for life. Although she's probably going to go there for life, she won't serve that. We'll see how that plays out. Firehorse, I don't think MBM told anyone, including the RCMP. She has a hand in what happened, in my opinion. Yeah, like it or not, at some point, there's going to be a line there. And you know, the lifestyle that they're leading out there was not the best environment for kids to be in. No, she hasn't told anyone in that sense. People already know, to put two and two together. She refuses, and she's going with the story that she told the RCMP. That's no different than the female version of Daniel, like it or not. People just are overly emotional in the moments that they discover, oh, well, here's an individual that's been victimized. Well, that doesn't finish the end of the situation here. It doesn't finish the story. She was victimized by Daniel, therefore she needs special treatment and she's off the hook. Not at all. She was a participant out there and in everything that happened. And she doesn't want the law to sort that out for her. She'd rather stay quiet, it sounds like. I can understand that. That's fear. She got the fear of punishment. She has a story that really loosely everybody around her accepts. And it's not very difficult to maintain because all you're doing is pretending not to know anything. And everybody else around you has to play by that rule. They're not pressing you. They're not asking you. You're definitely not sharing. You're doing the opposite. You're having them now, by proxy, continue to use this lie, this element of deception around your own children's fate. Zero chance at this point in my mind. Zero chance of anybody else being involved. That conversation shouldn't even be had anymore. It's kind of, I guess you have to bring it up. The only information that we have are what they can tie. I mean, as the public, not out there. The RCMP know a whole lot more because it's their own investigation. And we can only speculate as to the information that they do know. But they're way ahead of us. Now you're not just walking around. After the situation with Daniel, they're not just walking around. Should he be found guilty and all of that, and he'll have his chance in court, or else he's going to get slapped with these fucking charges. And that's just from probing Malaya on the information that she was willing to share. The RCMP aren't going to rely on hoping that they can hope that she comes forward and volunteers the information before that they have to go get this the hard way. And that's exactly what they're doing. What are you talking about, Cindy Clark? This community has nothing. Whose community? What are you talking about? You have a community that knows survival. The RCMP effed up the plan. They were in the area. I don't know what you're talking about, Cindy Clark. Nothing's messed up. Nobody's fucked up. It's too early, especially the public, to recognize where they fucked up. I'm with you guys because it's so obvious you think that it should be dusted up by now. All put aside. But when an individual comes with all kinds of false information, you're not doing your job. You've got to do it. You've got to get the information that you need in this situation a different way. There's good news and there's bad news. It's just complicated in how it plays out, and it's not going to play out in a textbook way. It doesn't mean they're getting away with anything. They're not, quite the opposite. Bonza Aussie, why anybody should be feeling for either of them. This is what they desire, what they want. Oh, look at how I'm going through it in light of my children just being completely taken from me. They're misrepresenting the situation. It's another performance. It's another act in that sense. Nothing to do with what it is that happened or the lies. Oh, we're not supposed to talk about the lies. You don't want to upset Malaya. We only need well wishers in this circumstance. People who are easily malleable. Excuse me. What, I got to scroll back up. I wondered if MBM did it too in DM covering. However, well, all kinds of scenarios have gone through our minds in that sense. Don't get married to any one scenario. Firehorse, I wondered if MBM did it too in DM covering. However, Janie wouldn't cover for her, and they are both lying from day one. So I don't think that at all now. I just keep my mind open. I think her silence in all of this speaks louder than anything. Malaya has the power, if she was a legitimate victim in all of this, and it got away from her. She should have been protecting. First and foremost, she neglected her duties as a parent by getting her children out of there. The fact now is, well, that's an understatement, unfortunately. They lied. Why did they lie to Children's Aid? Well, it's just what these people did. In an attempt to protect their family, they'll lie, okay? So a lot of meetings are just situations where these workers get lied to, and they go back and report to their superior, their managers, their case managers. But it sounds, again, like it was more than once. We know of one time, but the way Daniel speaks about it, it happened more than one time. It was more than once. There's an ongoing issue. There's an ongoing issue. Well, what does that say about you, Danny, when you are claiming to do all of the work that Malaya claims, that you claim Malaya neglected? I'm expecting that there's a lot more, how do we want to say it, verbal abuse in the house. And that verbal abuse is one-sided. Coming from Daniel, telling her what it is that she needs to do in that situation, especially after Meadow shows up. Cindy Clark says, I'm not saying the RCMP messed up. Okay. They were available on the spot. Esther, they're all guilty. We believe 100. The way that the law is going to treat it, and they should, is that they're all up for 25 to lifetimes too. They're all responsible until you guys come up with the real story as to what the hell happened up there. Right? Once the truth comes out a little bit, it's going to come out a lot. Danny wants you to think that there absolutely nothing happened. There's nothing worth remembering. Nothing happened. Absolute bullshit. Something's always happening. You're all here. Take a look at the clocks in the bottom right of your desktop. Something's happening right now, even though you might not be doing anything but listening. You can mark that down into your timeline, sunshine. And 1 minute leads to the next minute, which leads to the next minute. Should jog your memory, you tweaker. The fact that they have a series of answers about this that would indicate that they're lying, whether they're dazing in and out of sleep. This is distancing language in that sense. But to the cops, or better yet, in a courtroom, that's not going to be good enough. That's not a good enough explanation in that sense, and you're going to look guilty. That's a non-answer. It's not going to help them in that sense. And I have to expect that the non-answers are going to be they're going to be a thing, because not answering. Well, she was in his web though at that point in time. Who says that? Claudia Schmuck 4344 MBM should have had the sense to kick Daniel to the curb the minute he started dictating who she could or couldn't communicate with and tracking her every move. But no, now the children are likely dead. Right. So that's a very important part to all of this. The guy's sitting on the CBC talking about let's say making a weak assertion in that sense by talking about how him and Malaya were blocking their friends on their phones. Who the fuck does that? Nobody in a relationship should be on their phones blocking people on their behalf in order for them to feel more secure in their relationship. Like it was a decision. I'm going to go and block out all my friends. I'm going to voluntarily isolate myself from the world just so my new man, Danny boy, doesn't have to feel jealousy. Because there was no way that he was ever going to trust Malaya because of what it is that she did. The same reason why Janie probably hates her from the get-go, the first time they met, because they've only been together for 2 weeks. What kind of individual? How seriously do you want us to take your relationship? You've just been together 2 weeks, Romeo and Juliet. I'd be looking at you side-eyed too. You mean to tell me after 2 weeks you just moved in, you shacked up? What the fuck's up with her? What kind of person would even do that? And Daniel knows that as well. And that's how he's treating you, Malaya. That's how he treated you. If you were going to do that with him, you go and do that with some other dude as well. This relationship of yours didn't get off to a really great start. There was no respect in that sense. Oh, don't judge me. Don't stigmatize me. I didn't. Society did. There's a reason that there's stigmas. There's a reason why people look down upon things in society, because they're not right and only lead to the wrong things, you two know-it-alls. Children should know the basics before starting school. It's not the teacher's job to teach the kids the basics. My kids could read right before school. Right, Bonza? Exactly. Kids don't learn shit in school in that sense. You need to teach them. You need to do the teaching. I wish somebody told my parents that. Once he got her and the kids to Garlock Road, they were isolated. Then he started taking her phone and stuff. She didn't have a car to leave him yet. Well, think about all of the other things that are so much worse and sketchy than this friend blocking on each other's phone in that sense. Think about what the next step to that is. So now you've isolated all your friends out, so you're expecting not to ever talk to any of your old friends again. Why? Isn't that bizarre? That's like the opposite reason you get to somebody. Usually you get with somebody to extend your social circle, to bring more happiness. There's more fun when everybody's on the same level in that sense. You have a richer life experience. You're bringing positivity to that other person's life. You're building something. That's what should be. But this relationship was for why? What was the point on getting together in the first place? Well, Malaya has 2 kids. She's looking for a father figure, a daddy in her sense. That's what Daniel is so hesitant to get on with. Didn't your boys, the Tate brothers, Danny, tell you not to go after those, single moms? I thought you were trying to be an alpha male. You weren't getting with Malaya because you wanted to be a father to Jack and Lily, you douchebag. Especially after 2 weeks. What are you, some sort of weirdo? No, Sandra, it's more than just the child tax credit. There's that involved in it as well. It's just a factor, an influence. But there's more primal, degenerate behavior going on here. I would have to say that each one of them were looking to get out of the low point in their lives that they felt that they were in. They were desperate to get out. Daniel's desperate to get the hell out of Janie's trailer. Malaya's desperate to find herself a new man because she doesn't feel fulfilled. She's just that way. She needs a man. Why did you say it that way? I sound like, oh, she needs a man. I sound like an old angry woman. Oh, shenanigans. Hello. Tash Pond. They say Malaya had them blocked out. Or excuse me, they say that Malaya had them blocked, but Angie and Cheryl both called her when they heard about the kids. Yeah, well, I mean, listen, not taking them too literal in that sense. They're telling you that they went and blocked friends out. So you have to imagine it as there's a certain bunch of individuals maybe at that time that were taking up a lot of Malaya's time, like texting back and forth. You know how it goes? And it was making Danny, old Danny boy, jealous. And Danny wanted to ice all of that time out that was taking Malaya away from managing maybe his back massages or making him a sandwich. You know, he was trying to gain time. He wanted her attention, all of it. Because that's just Christ. He did. So crazy. Guys are fucking nuts. She needs a man, but she always picks a boy, Brian Sutherland says. Why don't you give her your number? You send her a little love note. She's single now, Brian. Oh, whoa. Let me get right on. Dial those 7 digits. Yo, Malaya, baby. Are you down with it? Annie, are you okay? Are you okay? Annie, are you okay? That's a Michael Jackson song, isn't it? Jack needed a father figure that would take him fishing with his worms, not beat on him. So sad. Oh, yeah. Like Jack was a perfect little fishing buddy. You have a kid that's out there digging up worms. That's a good thing. Put them in your composter and have yourself a little worm farm. Mr. Fisherman. But he wasn't about all of that. He was about feeling good all of the time. He was preoccupied with his addictions. This is a common thing. That's just the nature of the addiction. Danny, you're no different than anybody else. Tash, as a woman in a relationship, I almost completely changed friend groups when I got into a new relationship. Nothing to do with abuse, just priorities. Well, it's just the type of person you are, girl. People's social circles evolve in that sense, don't they? But this is different. This is a lot different. This is Daniel asserting things that he perceives she's doing wrong, and he's convincing her, gaslighting her into agreeing with them. That there is a real need to delete these friends, and we did it with each other. And just to show Malaya just how much of a trusting individual he is, she got to choose 5 friends of his that he would delete, just like he made her do. And somehow that's even Steven in that sense. The fact that you're even engaged in that little circle right there tells me that you don't trust the person that you're with. Why don't you trust her? Because she moved you in after 2 weeks. She's man hungry. She's looking for a Band-Aid. And old Danny subconsciously knows that, and that's what dictates his poor treatment towards her. Because everybody wised up and they can't take her seriously. You just threw this person into the mix, and everybody's supposed to pretend that you guys are just the next couple. Pictou County's finest. Oh, they'll take me seriously now that I got her knocked up. How the fuck were you going to pay for Meadow? Drippy Thoughtsicles 1537. He waited until he knocked her up. I love that term. Girl, you got knocked up. He waited until he knocked her up. You know whatever's coming next isn't going to be good, do you? That's not a real term of endearment. Oh, shit. He waited until he knocked her up, and she was vulnerable to threaten he'd leave her if she didn't cut off contact with her friends. Big man, that is. I don't know about that, Drippy. Who knows when it actually happened? We don't have that information. I'm expecting that it happened right away. I'll keep it open. Probably happened all the fucking time, you know? It probably happened every, month, every 4 weeks. Who are you talking to on that goddamn thing? Imagine how paranoid old tweaker boy here is, old micro-dosing the Tina. How paranoid he is just sitting in there in the quiet. He's hearing all of the electrical sounds of the clock. They're so poignant to him because of the state of mind that he's in. Just sitting there staring at fucking Malaya, typing away,